Imagine a 4th of July theme park that turns into a deadly nightmare when the attractions come to life. This is the story of the Death Park, where fun turns into absolute terror. Are you ready to hear this terrifying story? Press play and join us. In a small town in the United States, Freedom Fun Park was the main attraction on the 4th of July. Every year, entire families gathered to celebrate Independence Day with fireworks, food, and lots of laughter. The park was known for its thrilling rides, from the Ferris wheel to the roller coaster. This year, however, something dark was about to happen. Anna and her family were among the visitors. They were excited to enjoy the special day. Anna, a 17-year-old girl, had always loved Freedom Fun Park. It was a place full of happy memories from her childhood. Along with her parents and her younger brother, Tom, she was eager to create new memories. Little did they know, this would be the last time they would all be together. From the moment they entered the park, Anna felt something strange in the air. There was a sense of unease that she couldn't explain. The smiles on the faces of the park workers seemed forced, and their eyes had a sinister gleam. But Anna tried to ignore this feeling, believing it was just her imagination. The park was filled with visitors, and the laughter of children echoed through the pathways. However, as night approached, the atmosphere grew heavier. Anna noticed that the park lights began to flicker, and the sound of the attractions seemed distorted. It was as if the park was alive, watching and waiting for the right moment to strike. The first attraction Anna's family decided to visit the haunted house. As they walked through the dark and eerie corridors, ghostly figures and them at every turn. Suddenly, the ghostly figures seems to come to life, moving in a frighteningly realistic manner. Anna heard screams coming from another room and ran to see what was happening. She found a group of terrified visitors cornered by a shadowy figure threatening them with a knife. Panic set in and Anna began to run to the exit, but the doors were locked. The haunted house was just the beginning. Every new attraction Anna and her family tried to visit brought new horrors. The roller coaster came to life, throwing the cars off the tracks and causing fatal accidents. The carousel spun out of control, throwing visitors off. The Ferris wheel stopped at the highest point, leaving people trapped and terrified. Anna realized that the entire park was possessed by a malevolent force. The attractions, which once provided fun and joy, had now become instruments of death and destruction. She knew she had to find a way to save her family and the other visitors before it was too late. With her heart pounding, Anna gathered the courage to face the horrors of the park. She found Tom, who was lost and scared, and together they began to search for an escape. Panic spread throughout the park, and the screams of terror echoed everywhere. The killer attractions seemed to hunt the visitors, choosing their victims with deadly precision. Anna and Tom managed to hide in an old park storage room, where they found some of the workers. One of the workers, Jack, revealed that the park was built on an ancient Native American burial ground, and that the spirits of the dead were furious about their land being desecrated. He explained that the only way to stop the horrors was to find a sacred amulet hidden somewhere in the park and return it to the cemetery. Anna and Tom, now accompanied by Jack, began a desperate search for the sacred amulet. They faced numerous challenges and almost lost their lives several times. The attractions seemed to become even more dangerous, as if trying to prevent them from finding the amulet. But Anna's determination to save her family and the other visitors was unwavering. After hours of searching, they finally found the amulet hidden at the base of the Ferris wheel. With the amulet in hand, they ran towards the Native American cemetery, which was located at the edge of the park. The atmosphere around them seemed to vibrate with a malevolent energy, but Anna kept her focus, knowing that salvation was near. Upon reaching the cemetery, Anna and Tom followed Jack's instructions to perform a pacification ritual. They placed the amulet in the center of the cemetery and began reciting the sacred words that Jack had taught them. However, as soon as they began the ritual, the park's attractions, now fully possessed by malevolent forces, converged on the cemetery, trying to prevent the ritual from being completed. Anna and Tom were surrounded by dark and deadly entities, but they did not give up. With each word recited, the malevolent forces seemed to weaken but also become more violent. Jack, who was helping to defend Anna and Tom, was mortally wounded during the fight, but used his last strength to ensure the ritual was completed. Finally, with the last word of the ritual, an explosion of light emanated from the amulet, dissipating the malevolent forces. The park returned to normal, and the killer attractions were reduced to nothing more than scrap metal. Anna, Tom, and the survivors felt a temporary relief, but they knew that the scars of that day would remain forever. However, as Anna and Tom tried to find their family, they realized something horrible. Their parents were not among the survivors. Jack's sacrifice and Anna and Tom's courage were not enough to save everyone. Joy and relief were quickly replaced by the pain and sadness of their losses. Months later, Anna was still trying to recover from the horrors of that 4th of July. Authorities closed Freedom Fun Park, and the place was abandoned. But rumors began to circulate about screams and eerie laughter that could be heard at night. Some claimed that the souls of the victims were still trapped in the park, seeking revenge. Anna knew she could never forget what happened that day. The physical and emotional scars were deep, and the nightmares continued to haunt her. The amulet, now kept in a safe place, served as a constant reminder of the terror they faced. But the real question that haunted her was, were the malevolent forces really defeated, or were they just waiting for the right moment to return? Anna felt that the nightmare was not over, and that the darkness could return at any moment. Want part 2 of this story? Leave it in the comments. If you have a horror story and want to see it published on our channel, send us your story.